Morning, Tony Datino, founder, chair. So if you want to look at this year's USA Memory Championship, October 1 from 12 until 4, will be live streaming on YouTube. So go to the USA Memory Championship website and you'll see a link that'll take you to YouTube. And you'll see people, 12 people competing from different parts of the United States for who's got the best memory. And the exciting part about that is the four events that we have. So I did describe in detail in my Wednesday broadcast our long-term memory event, the data bits that they have to 30 days to retain and recall, and some of the questions strikes you're out of the party, meaning town, maybe their alma mater college, so residence, their employment. I'll go through some of that in detail, but we give them information for 5 people. They have 15 minutes they can take notes. We give them a mind map that they can utilize to study and retain. And then we bring those people back out and they have to remember their name and their phone number and the information. And again, I'll cover the bits that we have with them in a little bit more detail. But that's the essence of the event, and they have 3 strikes, and they are then eliminated from the party, meaning it's a tea party, and if you don't remember some of the data or the people in it, then you're asked to leave the party. Now, what's funny about this is the first year we did this, I was calling it a cocktail party. So I said, "Hey, we're going to a cocktail party," and I thought people would have fun with that because lots of adults go to cocktail parties. Except the principal from the school said to me, "You realize you have high school kids in this event, and I don't know that you should continue to call it the cocktail party." Such the name of the tea party, and 3 strikes, you're out of the party. So now what do we do with them? Okay, a person comes out and here's what they're going to do. They're going to introduce themselves and they're going to give their name. So my name is Tony Datino. They'll give their birthday. All right, here was the month and the day and the year, and now comes we give them some numbers they got to start to remember. I come from Fairview, New Jersey, and the zip code there was 12579. I went to a college in Jersey City, New Jersey, named St. Peter's, and I got my accounting degree in the year of 1982. I currently live in Windermere, Florida, and my zip there is 34786. I worked at IBM. I had a 28-year career, and it started actually in 1967. I had a pet, and it was a dog, a black dog by the name of Jody. I have a favorite movie, and my favorite movie was the very first, it was actually the trilogy of Star Wars. It was the fourth segment, but that was shown back in 1977. I have 3 hobbies. My hobbies include golfing, cruising, and I love to do crossword puzzles. My favorite sports teams are the New York Yankees, though things are not so great of late, the New York Football Giants, and I'm beginning to enjoy having fish a couple of times a week. Salmon and tuna are usually my favorites. And I do like to have a bit of red meat every once in a while, so a T-bone steak is my favorite. So that's the data that we give to people. And they get a little bit shorter than what I've done here in this video. And then they get some time to relook at the notes. We'll replay the video a second time so they get to hear it and see it, make notes. We give them a mind map that they can then use to study the different data elements that are on it. And then we bring them back out on stage, or in this case, Full Sail is pre-filming, so we'll bring them back out on a video screen. And they'll pre-film on the video screen, and then they'll bring the person out, and the first thing we may ask them is, tell me what this person's employment was. Where did they work? So we mix up the data bits, or in some cases we go sequentially through it. So let's test you on this. So obviously my name, you know from the broadcast, is Tony Dattino. My birthday, does anybody recall what I gave out? I went to school and what I studied. Can anybody retain and recall what my current residence was that I shared with you earlier in the video? How about where I worked, what I did? What about my pet? What color was my pet? What was the dog's name? How about my favorite movie? What sequel of a trilogy was it? How about my hobbies? Can anybody tell me at least one of my hobbies? Oh, I'm sure you remember my favorite sports teams. I'm not sure that the New York Giants are going to be doing anything much this year from what I'm reading in the sports columns and pages. And then I shared with you a few of my favorite foods, of which one was a bit of red meat, which I eat less of these days, a little bit more of fish. You remember my tuna and salmon. Then you've done pretty well. And if you can retain some of those bits of information, you go back to the early part of my video where I shared this information with you, you can test your own memory out and see how well you would do at retaining the information that we give to our finalists at the USA Memory Championship. And what's been amazing about that is we had one year where we had 5 people come out and each gave, we call 25 data bits. And so if you look at what I've done, we're trying to give out 25 data bits. This year we've upped it a little bit more because what we have found is some of our mental athletes are able to, and many of our mental athletes are able to retain all of it. And what we're trying to do is eliminate several people from the event because this event leads us to our final, which I'll cover with you in my next broadcast. It's our double-decker bust, 104 cards. But in any case, it's been a great event because people in the audience can play along. The only thing we ask them not to do is whisper or call out an answer because they'll listen and then the mental athlete will be there and they'll be intense about it and they'll be a little bit, oh God, can I remember their birthday and what year it was? God, I remember that face in the year of. And it's always exciting to watch that. And then audience members like, they have the answer and they want to share it with the mental athlete so they do well at the event. So it's one of the most interesting events that we have, and spectators will often ask me, so how do they do that? What is it that they do? So we give them a combination of names and faces. They certainly have a group of numbers in out as a combination of the fundamental skills that anyone needs to remember in their day-to-day life. Things to do, words that they got to recall, or people's names and faces. Certainly we have numbers all over us in terms of our day-to-day lives. And so it's a combination event that we actually did when we were on the HTD network, that was the Mark Cuban network, where we needed to make it audience friendly, and it caused us to be a little creative and figure out an event, and it turns out to be one of our favorite events that we do in the USA Memory Championship. So check this out. You and proficiencies and being able to be really outstanding masters and demonstrating the skills that I'm talking about. It is Friday. Another week has just flown by, and I hope all of you have a wonderful weekend. The weather is good for you. You do some fun activities. It's the NFL opening week, so God knows where the New York Giants will be in terms of playing Tennessee Titans, I guess that is who they're playing. And we'll take it from there. There's college football on Saturday, so lots of activities for people to